Guys, look at the mess I have on my desk right now. It's crazy, but I'm not going to clean today because it's Sunday, so I'm just going to film myself. Hi guys, I'm showing my face in here again after a very long time, but I want to do it more often because I really like to connect with you in this kind of way, even though I don't feel very comfortable doing it, just to say. And at the same time, I don't have a very nice background. I have like the kitchen on this side and the living room because it's all together in this apartment where I live. And this is because I can't film in my studio right now because my husband is working from home and because I don't have a very good light in there. So I hate doing videos and filming while drawing because I hate the light. Let's talk about art, even though I don't have art behind me. And today the topic is colored pencils. In particular, my favorite beloved colored pencils, which are in particular the first love, Polychromos. Like, guys, all the artists, I don't think there are artists who don't use these colored pencils. I've seen them everywhere. You can find them everywhere in each art store and they are so versatile. I'm going to show them later. And the second color pencils, which are my newest love, are this one, the Holbein. Can you see them? I don't know. The Holbein color pencils that I discovered like a year ago. I was doing some shopping in the Jackson's Art Supplies store. This is an online store because I don't live in England. I live in Italy, and you can tell by my accent. And I was looking for a white color pencils because every white color pencil I have doesn't write on the paper. So I want to do white details on my watercolors and they don't show, like they are transparent. And I was looking for another brand and I've seen the Holbein white color pencils. This is so this big right now because I've used it a lot, even if it's only for details. I didn't know that Holbein had a color pencil line. I don't know if you know it, but I had the watercolors. I really loved the Holbein watercolors, and when I've seen the color pencils, I was like, okay, I'm going to buy the color pencils. And like a month ago, I wanted to buy more colors because I wanted to try even more these color pencils, and I bought like 10 or 12 color pencils. They are expensive. I'm going to tell you right now that I think they're a little bit more expensive than the Polychromos. So if you want to try them, you have to take into consideration the economic aspect. And before starting with like the actual drawing sketchbook thing, like the more artist thing in this video, I want to tell you that this is not like a professional review. I'm not going to do professional reviews in the future about any kind of art tools because this is not my way of using art tools. I want to see how they work, what I like about art tools, and how they perform, if they are good for me, for my needs. And I don't want to get too much into the technical information because I'm not interested in those technical information. And I hope you're going to take from this video and from the future videos like what you need for yourselves and for your art, like those tips and those kind of experience. Just to tell you in advance that I'm going to just to show you how they work on paper, how I use them, because I don't use them so much. My main medium is watercolors, and color pencils are like something that I use to add textures and to add some shadows. So I don't use them so much. I don't know how they work on a full drawing when you color with only color pencils. So let's go with the voiceover and the sketchbook phase. In terms of appearance, these two pencils look pretty similar. Like they both have this glossy finish and also the golden ring at the bottom, but I think Holbeins are slightly larger than the Polychromos. Anyway guys, this difference is insignificant. So how do I use color pencils in my art? I usually use them for my line art or line work, I don't know how you call it, Anyway, I first do the sketch with a Prismacolor color erase, and then I go on top of it with the color pencils because I want to define the lines better. I usually choose two colors, one for the skin, which is usually an orangey reddish color, while for the rest of the drawing I'm going to use like a color that matches the watercolors that I'll use later. So I first choose the color I want the dress to be, like in this case I want the dress to be bluish, like green, a green blue color. So I choose like this bluish, I don't know the shade of this pencil, but in any case it's like a medium blue color. So I usually want the color pencil to match the watercolors later. Now let's talk about Polychromos in particular. I think Polychromos can hold the point very well. I mean, once you've sharpened them, you can draw for a while before the tip becomes roundish and does large strokes. So I really enjoy using them for my line work because I can do like very thin lines, and this is very important for me. Also, I've never experienced breakage issues, both with the sharpener and during the drawing process. And I think this is because the wood is very high quality and they also have this sturdy, robust point. And this is the same for the Holbein because, guys, these pencils are very, very high quality and we can't expect that they broke during the drawing or with sharpeners, even if the sharpeners are not top quality sharpeners. So don't worry about that. I sometimes use color pencils to add shadows in some parts of the drawings because I love to add textures and I know I can't do this with watercolors, so I do it before or after the painting process. What I don't like about Polychromos is their color selection. I think they have too many earthy reddish colors and I can't really find pastel and bright colors in their selection. But if you really like natural color selection, then Polychromos is like perfect for you. I usually use pastel colors when I want to add interest to a subject. So for example, if I paint a pink flower, I want to add like a light blue pastel because I can represent a reflected light, and the reflected lights add like a bit more interest and tells a bit more about the subject. So this is my opinion, but you may prefer like only natural colors and it's okay. Also, I forgot to do swatches with the colors at the beginning, so I do it at the end of the drawing. And you can feel from the sound of the pencil on the paper that the point is really hard. So it's harder than the Holbein that you'll see later. And I really love hearing the sound of the pencils because it tells a lot about how a pencil works on the paper. Regarding Holbein, you can already see they have such unique, bright and pastel colors. Like guys, I've never seen these colors in my life. And as I said in the Kuretake watercolor video, all the Japanese brands have like such a unique color selection. And I think the reason is that they have a philosophy behind the color selection that is strongly connected to the Japanese culture. And I'm really fascinated by this world. Like when I see a Japanese art brand, I'm like, I'm going to buy it with my eyes closed because I can trust the quality and the colors. And you can tell that I'm really enthusiastic and I love these color pencils because I love like the colors. I see these pastel violets and blues and reds and I'm happy with them. So this being said, these pencils are also very creamy and buttery. And the downside of this beautiful aspect is that the point becomes roundish very easily. So I have to sharpen them a lot if I want to get very thin lines for my line art. So they're also extremely pigmented and in fact I have to barely touch the paper if I want to get a soft color, but I think you'd like to color with these pencils because they are very, very, very soft. I've read somewhere online that the Polychromos are oil-based while the Holbein are oil and wax-based. So I think this is the difference and this is the reason why the Holbeins are more pigmented and also more creamy and buttery. After I paint with watercolors, I go on top again with color pencils. And I start again with Polychromos on the first drawing. And as you can see, I add some strokes here and there because I want to enhance shadows. And I also want to add more textures and more lines. And this is the main reason I use color pencils after watercolors. I still don't use a lot of color pencils like other artists, but I want to add them like for touches of colors and textures. And I also enjoy using light colors like the cream pencil because I want to add some light strokes and light effects here and there. So as you can see with Holbein, everything is a bit more pigmented because you can really see the yellow on the leaves and also the white details that I add on the leaves and in other parts of the drawing. So what I love about these pencils is that they're really truly visible on the paper, and if I want to add another layer of color, like these are like wax on the paper, and if I want to do this, I will do this with Holbein because Polychromos are not so visible on the paper. They are more soft and delicate. So yeah, it's your choice if you want to use one brand or another. So guys, the fact is that Holbeins are less available in Europe at least, and at the same time they are also more expensive than the Polychromos. So you may ask me, why should I buy them? I can say that the main reason is the colors, so the color selection in particular, because Polychromos are less expensive, a bit less expensive, and also more available all around the world, I think. And the only difference, in my opinion, are the colors. So if you want bright pastel colors, then go and catch some Holbeins. You can find them in the Jackson Supply art store. So they're still available in Europe in some way, even if they are still expensive. But I think I'm going to mix Polychromos and Holbeins. So I may use Polychromos at the beginning with the line art and all those kind of things. And then after I paint, I may use the Holbeins for adding those touches of light and pastel colors. So I think this will be my main process from now on. So guys, these are my considerations on Polychromos and Holbein's color pencils. I hope you enjoyed this video and also these drawings, and I also hope you're going to subscribe to my channel and put a big like on this video. Thank you again for watching, thank you for everything, and we're going to see next week in the next video. Meanwhile, I hope you have a great weekend. Bye!